Cigarettes. It's that giant monster you're always battling, but no one else can see it. Nobody really understands it, not even the people who are under its spell. Anyone who tells you it's simple is a liar. Yeah, it's simple if you're a non-smoker, you just don't do it. But if you're a smoker, you might as well be in a dark, dark maze. And let's face it, you've lost almost all hope of escaping.
Badaboom.
You know it's bad, and you also know that saying it's bad is just the tip of the iceberg. You try not to think about it because there's some kind of love that a smoker feels for a cigarette. It's evasive and confusing though. It's a memory of some kind of nostalgia. It's that lie that you want to believe. It's abusive. When you try to think about quitting, your thoughts keep dying. Thinking about quitting smoking is like blowing bubbles. They just keep popping out of your mind. It's so subliminal though that you don't even realize what's happening. Like, you can't even grasp it. How can you fight something if you can't even grasp it? Well, I caught it, and now I'm gonna give it to you, and you're gonna win. We have to be very careful though when we're talking about this. Don't let it know you're awake. So I have this net. It's called a metaphor. This is what I caught the monster in, and this is what you're gonna have to use to see it. You are definitely in a maze, and you are at the center of the maze, and there's a monster right there sleeping. You are chained up, but I'm giving you the key right now so you can sneak away, okay? I'm gonna help you escape. First, you have to remove all the traps that the monster has set out for you in the maze. Dispose of all ashtrays, lighters, and anything that might make you think of smoking. Those will wake up the monster. Other things that will wake up the monster include coffee, alcohol, friends, family, children, bosses, coworkers, boyfriends, girlfriends, and basically anything that stresses you out. It's that monster waking up that you're afraid of, because you know once it finds you, it's going to torture you until you put the chain back on. Why do you think they call it chain smokers, huh? And let's face it, who can get anything done when this is happening? So what you do is you let all those people know in advance that you're going to need their help and support when you quit. Of course, the monster is probably going to end up waking up at some point, but there is a plan for that as well. You need to hide. Find a place to hide until it falls back asleep. While you're hiding, you need to relax all your muscles and avoid thinking about anything that stresses you out. It can smell stress and tension. That's how it finds you. It can also smell guilt or fear, so don't try to shame yourself or anything. Never ever talk bad about yourself, ever. That's like driving a stake into your leg and then trying to walk. So some people like to use things like a nicotine patch and like nicotine gum and vape pens. So like my teacher at the University of Washington said that vape pens are actually worse. Here's her reasoning. Yeah, all like the chemicals and stuff in cigarettes are really bad for you, but what is also really bad for you is the nicotine, and that's still in the vape pens. When you smoke, you got a lot of really big molecules going into your lungs, and they like don't sink very deep into the tissue because they're so big. And then you've got like these things in your lungs that actually function as like watchdogs, and they like, you know, when you're coughing, and they just do stuff to make sure that like all of those toxins get out. The only problem is that the molecules coming from vape pens are so small that they get really deep into the tissue, and so the watchdogs have a harder time pushing them out. Thus, it's actually more cancerous to be vaping. It's gonna take like a couple decades until they can prove that, but like, do you want to be part of the test sample? That being said, I actually use vape pens to quit smoking, down to the next lowest nicotine level until eventually I was at 0. So yeah, the main thing is to just keep trying. If it catches you, you wait till it falls asleep and then try again. Persistence is the most powerful weapon that you got, so use it. And quit talking bad about yourself. Some people think that they like need to shame themselves and it's like some weird way of humbling themselves. I'm not saying you should be vain, but if your way of humbling yourself is saying stuff like, oh, I'll probably forget anyways. Oh, I'm probably just crazy. Then you're hurting yourself. You know, just like find nice words to talk about yourself. It's okay to give yourself compliments from time to time. Sorry, I think I just started ranting. So I love you guys and good luck. Because you know that if it finds you, those will make a... It can smell stress and tension. It can smell. Oh my gosh, why can't... Wait, yeah. Way to prove that though, not for a couple of decades. Bye.